Hey, welcome to the show. I shouldn't be introducing it. I don't have a microphone. Hey, you know how you guys sent me to WrestleMania? Next step, buy me a microphone. I need a new microphone and I'm broke. My name is Daniel Ehrenberg. I host the franchise. We are fucking waist deep in Star Trek right now. My dick and balls are underwater. And it's Star Trek Generations and Star Trek First Contact this week. We are beginning next generation films. There's four of them. Let's bring in my co-host to talk about these great Star Trek entries. Uh, Make it so, Logan.
I'm at least ear deep. I'm drowning. I'm fully submerged underwater. I can't breathe anymore. Let me out.
Well,
I don't
you're
like
not
it.
in. You don't like it?
No.
Oh, okay. Logan's
You
turned on
do?
Star Trek.
Tim, are you here because you like these movies? Spoiler alert, Tim's here. Why are you
Did,
Hi
here?
guys.
Do
did
you
you
like
notice
these? Do you
that
hate
Tim
these?
Tim gave First Contact a 5 on Letterboxd?
What? I didn't notice that. What's up with you?
I love First Contact. You guys are insane.
Oh, I
I
liked it
get
more.
Generations. I will. Well, first of all, I want to say, my name's Tim. I have been podcasting probably 15 years. This is the same microphone that I have used
Holy
on
shit.
every single podcast.
That's amazing.
I have never once had an issue with my microphone, and also as a literal listener of the franchise, I have sent Dan a new microphone at least once in
Yeah,
the
I
career.
remember. Send me another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, no,
That
I'm
I
good.
one.
I live in Las
That one's so
Vegas
good. Send
now.
that
It'll
one to
be
him.
it'll be cheaper shipping, Tim.
Well,
Oh wow.
I'm sorry, but the tariffs are a problem for
Oh,
podcasting microphones. So you need some of these like fat wallet listeners who
all
are
right.
sending you to WrestleMania.
Uh,
Um,
all right. Well, I'm not gonna call on. Listen, David and Nolan did their job. They sent me to WrestleMania. Who's next, baby? Who's
yeah,
gonna
There's
get me a
step up.
microphone? How much does it cost? Like $75?
Probably $100.
A
yeah.
hundred
I
dollars.
the one
You
I
got $100 to donate so I sound better?
what are you just like throwing it on the ground after you record a podcast? Like
I've
I know
noticed
you
the
do.
way he holds his cords is crazy.
He's
It's
just
like
like
But but
crumping
ripping.
I
up.
but it's because
It's
it
like the
Man,
didn't
Arthur
work.
meme, but
It's
holding
because
yeah.
his microphone.
but it's because it didn't work if I didn't do that. I
I
didn't
feel
used to hold the cords that way.
Once
I
a
feel
cord gets that way, that might be an issue.
if it's just the cord, you could buy the cord for like $5. That's
Really?
if I mean if it's a
We did
USB
wonder that.
cable, if it's the
Tim,
cord, what?
send me the cord.
You got to take a picture of the cord,
I
man.
will.
I will replace the cord. If you take a picture of the ends of the cord, I'll send you a new cord.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're in business.
Yeah. But you
By
have to
next
mention,
episode, we'll have a new
yeah,
cord.
but you have to mention me like you've been mentioning these WrestleMania
Fine.
guys.
Fucking fine.
I'm just teasing. I'm the guy who like gets the most mentions on the show. Just for being your friend.
Literal
Um,
executive producer.
yeah, literal listener. I love Star Trek Next Generation. I have no time for this Captain Kirk and this Spock guy in my life, but I want
You
to
like
tell you right
data?
now, I love Data. I love Jean-Luc
Listen,
Picard.
listen, Logan, you got off on a bad foot with Data. The
I'm sure I
fucking
did.
the Data storyline in
Generation
Generations
sucks.
where he's got his emotion chip and he's all
Yeah,
excited
Oh,
about laughing.
God.
That shit sucks. It is the
I
worst part of the movie. Data is the LVP of Star Trek Generations, but that is a really good character from what I've
It
seen.
was like all of Spock's storylines from all the six movies like rolled into the one, but with shit dialogue where they just spell it all out for you. I
I,
really hated all of Data's stuff.
I
I thought he
will
was
tell
like
you.
the Lorne actor, but if Lorne sucked.
I whoa,
Jesus.
whoa.
I know. I
Uh,
don't like Data.
I
Or
will I
Data.
will tell you guys right now that Generations is a terrible way for you to meet my friends on the USS Enterprise, uh, D or E or whichever one they're on
Why do
at
we
that
meet them on
point.
a pirate ship?
That
Well,
was kind of
of
cool. I
course,
don't know.
I will tell you that this is 70 years after Captain Kirk's run at the
78 years, it says
yeah.
in the movie.
Well,
Oh,
those are 8 years
You just
of
got
the
pwned.
adventure. Those are the 8 years, but this is after the
Oh, I
series.
see. Because
Um,
yeah, the series ran for 7 seasons.
yeah.
mm.
So I do want to tell you that they have this thing now on the Enterprise called the holodeck, which you got to see more in First Contact when they went to the film noir bar, right? Um, uh, so they were on that pirate ship, and I thought it was really good because there was like multiple Moby Dick references. I wanted Dan to say his favorite quote from
I
Moby
got
Dick.
that too.
Call me Ahab.
Yeah, perfect,
I was
great.
laughing about that like that
Yeah,
night. I was still thinking about that.
it was it was pretty good.
Call
When,
me Ahab.
so so of course the next gen crew is really good. The next gen show is really fun. There Data fucks in an episode. He's much better. Jordy is cool on the show, and I think Generations doesn't do them very much justice. I also think that like Picard comes off as like whiny in both movies,
I thought
and
so too.
yeah.
Like, look, I haven't seen a lot of Next Generation, but I've seen like a few episodes and shit. My dad watched it, so it was sort of on a lot. And I remember Picard being cool as shit. Like, I always vastly preferred Picard over Kirk. And
I,
in the movies, like Kirk's way better.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, well, yes, and I mean, to Picard's credit, he is mourning like his entire family, like,
Get
and
over it.
yeah, uh, Picard is cool. It's just these are bad representations. So,
I liked him with the
this
machine gun. Was that in the bar you were talking about?
yeah, that was the holodeck. So they have a
Wait, what
holodeck
is
in
the holodeck? Does it
Dan.
anything matter that's happening on the holodeck?
Dan, you would fucking love the holodeck. Let me just tell you this. The holodeck is basically like when you get off work, then you walk into this room and you're like, okay, play this movie, and then you're a character in the movie. And
I don't
or
think Daniel would like
Riker
that.
no, but listen to this. Riker would just go in there and fuck bitches the whole time.
Oh, I love that.
You could, yeah, yeah. See, Dan would love it. Um, you could program it, and then the problem. So, what was great about the show would be like Picard is in a Sherlock Holmes novel, and then the thing gets messed up, and he's stuck in there. So he's got to solve the Sherlock Holmes crime.
Is that
It's
real?
the
Or did you make that
So
up?
what, the holodeck thing is always getting messed up?
it gets messed
Yeah,
up
somebody's got to
a
fix
lot.
that.
Yeah.
Get
So
Jordy
sometimes
on that.
so usually like what he did was he turned off the safety controls, right? So he could kill the Borg. So that happens a lot. Like, oh, it's malfunctioning. So if you die in here now, you're gonna die in real life or
Oh yeah.
whatever.
You know
Um,
that they have that in the Orville. I watched the Orville, which
yeah.
is the fucking Star Trek ripoff by Seth MacFarlane, and they
Hmm.
basically have that exact thing.
Yeah.
So
That's
you're
I
watching
mean that
this like,
he's
wow, they took this from the Orville.
No, it's just that like I have a frame of reference for this because I watched something that is a complete ripoff of it.
I think it's a fun idea. I mean, I hope we get more of it, kind of.
yeah, no, it's so there's enough like Star Trek Next Gen episodes where they're like, how can we get, how can we get uh Patrick Stewart to do Shakespeare? I know, let's do an episode where he meets Shakespeare or whatever,
Mm.
or I mean, Patrick Stewart literally played Captain Ahab in like multiple Moby Dicks. So how can we put them on the freaking uh ship or whatever? So
I
um
saw a Christmas Carol live on stage when I was a kid. Patrick Stewart was Ebenezer Scrooge.
He's a great
Hell yeah.
Scrooge.
Mhm.
He works. I will say this. I was watching First Contact with my wife, and she turns to me and goes, she looks at Picard and goes, "He's so hot." And I'm like, "What? Are you really?" I'm like, I get it. Young Patrick Stewart, but like the dude
There's something
has
sexy
looked,
about him.
he looks old his entire life, right? Like, because he's been bald
But he's
forever.
not like
How?
Von Sydow where he looks 80. He looks
Side
like
out.
Yeah, right, Von Sydow. But he looks like he's like always in his late 50s, which can still be
Yeah,
pretty sexy.
that's like Steve Martin, who is like looked 50 his entire life. So like now that he's 80 or whatever, it's like, okay, I guess he's just starting to age. So but what do you want to know? You want to know about Lieutenant Commander Worf, who's the first Klingon ever to join the Federation, and that's like he's like the only Klingon
Yeah, he was
to
cool.
ever join the
What? That's what
Federation.
this is? You're gonna educate us on Star
Yeah,
Trek?
Why
yeah,
not?
you guys are gonna shit on it. I
I
can tell
wasn't
you
shitting on
about
it.
the
He
characters.
was.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, Logan's gonna go into the next two and be like, I fucking love Worf, who's
I
a
did like Worf
badass.
actually.
Yeah,
Worf was one
Worf
of
is
my
cool.
favorites. He is
Riker
cool.
reminds me of that dude who's friends with House.
Wilson, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Riker, so Riker, you get a little bit of like what
He
goes on with
directed
him,
him,
but
right?
He
Riker,
directed the First Contact and the next one.
yeah,
Right.
Riker, Jonathan Frakes, of course. Riker is like the Lothario on the Enterprise, and once he grows the beard, he starts without a beard, but he grows
Really?
the
I've
beard, and
only
he,
known him bearded.
yeah, like the first season he's unbearded, and he's very like Kirk like in romancing space alien ladies.
Mm.
So that's kind of like his main thing. Also, he's always like flirting with Deanna Troy, who of course is the ship counselor, and they don't really go into it, but she's a type of alien that can feel your emotions. So
An empath.
yeah, total empath. You can like literally read what you say. Who else do you want to know?
The
Beverly Crusher.
ladies seemed pretty underdeveloped, if you ask me. Like
Yeah,
I really in the watching the movies, you really get a sense of Picard, Riker, Data, Worf, and then like a little bit of LeVar Burton, and but like I don't know, Beverly Crusher. I like that name. It's great.
yeah.
But
Well,
and Troy, like I don't really have a handle on who they are except for
so,
ladies.
They were
so
in it a
Beverly,
lot, I thought. They just weren't specific at all.
they
Yeah.
were totally sidetracked. Beverly Crusher, of course, is the ship's doctor, and most notably, her son is Will Wheaton, who like
Oh.
his gimmick was he's like a child ensign, and kind of always was like Picard would be like, "We need to do this because of the Prime Directive," and then he'd be like, "Oh, the Prime Directive," like he was an annoying character that people hated. Um, so yeah, no Will Wheaton in the movies yet. It's so
Oh,
far.
yet. Okay.
I don't recall if he shows up in the other two. To be honest, never my favorite. Wesley Crusher is a bad character. So
All right. Can I go through some of the background here?
yeah,
Absolutely.
All right. I did research. All right. We got a Star Trek nerd on the show here, so he can correct me if I get anything wrong.
well, you get a lot wrong. So
Do
so
I?
far, no, I don't know. I don't know anything about the
Oh,
originals. I don't. I have
I've been
only seen.
really trying with this series because I know like Star Trek nerds are like fucking tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I had only ever seen two of the original movies.
Mm.
Wow.
The whale one and the one where Shatner free solos.
Why? Why? That's so random.
You never saw
Uh,
Wrath of Khan?
I've never seen Wrath of Khan. I saw the
Still
whales.
never? What do you mean?
No,
Why
still
didn't you
never. I
watch it
haven't
when we
watched
did it?
it.
Too bad.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
You guys actually sold the movies really well, and then I'm like, I already
It was
listened to them
good.
talk about it. I don't need to watch the movie. Um, But I will say I watched the whale ones because they filmed like the whale sanctuary museum place is the aquarium uh that I like live near and have worked at.
Oh
Um
wow.
and
What'd you
then
do? What was your role at the aquarium?
I filmed
Oh,
stuff at the aquarium. Uh, the other and then I had a babysitter who was like a big Trekkie who took me to go see Final Frontier, right? In
the fifth one?
the movie theater. Yeah, the fifth
That's the
one.
free solo one.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on as a little kid. I
Was
was,
that
but
your first experience with free soloing? You saw Star Trek Five, and
You
you're like,
learned to
that
row, row,
might
row your boat.
I'll watch every
that
film about this subject for the rest of my life.
maybe that's it. I clicked in. I was like, oh my God, Captain Kirk is like the coolest thing. I hate all the space shit. I wish he would just climb that mountain more.
Gotta
All
watch
right,
Vertical Limit. That's a
you
good
watched
movie.
that?
Telling Tim he's got to watch it.
Oh, have you ever seen that, Tim?
Yeah, of course I've seen Vertical Limit. What are you
What
Oh,
talking
about,
about?
okay.
hey, Logan, have you ever seen Cliffhanger?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yep.
All right, great.
Let's
Watched it
see.
last
Yeah.
Uh,
year.
there's some
What about
great rock climbing movies.
what
Yeah.
about Ace Ventura 2 When Nature Calls?
Mm-mm.
You haven't seen
Mm.
that one? Oh,
There's a
that's got
great
some rock climbing in
parody
it.
of Cliffhanger at the beginning of that film.
I
All
might have
right.
seen that.
So anyway, here's what happens. They're like, "What do we do for the next movie?" That tends to be what
Yeah,
happens
I got to
after
make
the
another one.
previous movie. We got to do another one. So it's during season 6 of the Next Generation, which is the penultimate season. All right, they pull the executive producers into an office. They think they're about to be canceled. They're going to tell them you're done, but instead, they say, we want to do the next two Star Trek movies with the Next Generation cast.
The
So
exact
you
opposite
got,
of being canceled.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you guys are in charge now. So they're like, sweet, let's fucking do it. So they have like a competition with the writers of Star Trek Next Generation. They all have to like pitch Star Trek The Next Generation movies, and like they picked the best one.
Awesome.
And they went with these
This is
dudes,
it.
Ronald D. Moore and Brandon Braga. All right. And those two guys have been
Brannon.
around I know them from TV because they've been around forever doing sci-fi shit.
Mhm.
Ronald D. Moore is the smart one of the two, and Brandon Bragg is the one who like comes up with like dumb space shit.
Okay. Well, together
Yeah,
they make a great team.
together they make a great team. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Ronald D. Moore is John Lennon, Brandon Braga, Paul McCartney.
You
Who's the
realize there were
Yoko though?
more than two.
They were the head songwriters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So
Look at this
Ronald,
guy doesn't respect Octopus's garden at all.
I don't. Ronald D. Moore goes on to have a pretty great career after he writes for Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Those are like big Star Trek. They all ran 7 seasons. He was like top guy on all those. And then he leaves. He writes for Roswell for a little while, which I love. And then he goes and creates the Battlestar Galactica remake that is an all timer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aired on the
pretty good.
Sci-Fi Channel in the mid 2000s.
I almost pitched that for Logan to watch the pilot, but the pilot's like a
It's a
movie,
mini
so
series.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I thought about that too. It's a great fucking pilot, but it's a mini series.
I want to say you bring up Deep Space Nine and Voyager, and I want to tell you, I watched Next Gen, I watched Deep Space Nine, but I was never into Voyager. Maybe because it was a woman captain
I
on
think
that one.
that's it. Yeah,
Um,
female captain that turned
because
you off.
I was even thinking about Voyager, and it has like two of my favorite next gen elements in Voyager. Like I would check out episodes because they have the Borg and they have Q, who's like this space alien guy who like does like he's like Loki basically in the or Star Trek universe. Uh, but I was never into Voyager as much as Deep Space Nine. And don't worry, guys, we'll talk more about Deep Space Nine when we get to First Contact.
Is Voyager the new one?
No,
Vo- no,
What's the one with
Voyager.
Sasha from The Walking Dead? You watch that one?
that's
Uh,
Discovery.
that's
Oh, you watched that?
Discovery, and that's like a prequel that takes place like before because I think young Spock shows up in that eventually.
Enterprise was a prequel too. Like they
Yeah,
haven't done like a sequel series since Voyager, I think. Unless
Wow.
that like there's like that Picard series. That might
but
be.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Picard is after I've watched like the first season of Picard, and it's if you want to see Data old and fat, that's the way to do it. So
Holy shit. He's an android. How does he get old and fat?
I would love to find that out.
great question. He's got upgrades, his emotion chip.
That's the upgrade that he
He's
gets
becoming
fat?
more he's becoming more human. He wants to age more, right? Like
Oh god.
That's awesome.
All right. So after Battlestar, he does Outlander. Well, he also did Caprica, the Battlestar prequel, I guess. And
Is it still Ronald?
yeah, yeah. And the latest thing was For All Mankind on Apple Plus, which people liked, but I never checked out.
Hmm.
Now Brandon Braga, he also wrote for all those shows, but he sort of floundered afterwards. He does a lot of TV writing these days, but not really on his own projects. But in the wake of Lost, he became like a go-to guy for the networks to try to come up with a Lost ripoff that might like get the Lost audience. And they all failed after one season, or maybe one of them ran two. So the first one was this, it was called Threshold. It was
Hmm.
an alien show. It had Carla Gugino and Peter Dinklage. I loved it. I watched every episode. Um,
mhm.
it also had who the fuck was Brent Spiner, like the
Hmm.
data guy. He was in there. So then he did Flash Forward.
Yep,
You remember that?
I
Everyone
remember
like
that.
everyone has like a fucking seizure where they like see into their own futures for like a
Yeah,
minute.
everybody like passes out and then wakes up like 7 minutes later or something was like the premise. So it was like the leftovers, but like no one disappeared.
Yeah. They just know 7 minutes
Hmm.
of their future.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then he did one called Terra Nova that had
Oh
dinosaurs
yeah.
in it, but you
Yeah,
can't really
yeah.
do dinosaurs on TV. They don't look very good. Um,
One day.
I hope so. We can only
They
hope.
had an animated Jurassic Park show. Maybe
Yeah.
that's cool.
Camp Cretaceous. My nieces watch it.
Yeah. I'm sure that's cool. Animated dinosaurs.
It's not cool. I've
It's
Oh
seen a
not.
couple
no.
episodes. It
What
sucks
about
so
Land Before
bad.
Time?
It's like
Or those movies?
oh no, we need to zip line, but the Spinosaurus is right there, and then they like zip line, and the Spinosaurus like just barely misses eating them. But it's a kid show, so it's not like
I
they're
like
ever in
that.
danger of like
Sounds like every one of the movies to me.
if the
I
kids die.
like
Well,
that.
the movies suck.
How many of the movies suck?
Like all the new ones, like all the new ones.
Okay, fine.
Give
But the
me
old
the
ones are good.
first. Give
The
me the
first
first
three?
two.
Wait, say that again? The first
I don't
three?
like Billy. I don't like Billy.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Now we're crossing lines. Let's just keep going.
All right, so they offer the first of these Star Trek Next Generation movies to Leonard Nimoy, and he turns it down. He doesn't want to direct more Star Trek.
Crazy.
So they're
He
like,
goes. He goes.
good, great visual joke on the podcast.
Well, it is a
And
visual podcast too, right?
for
True.
some, yeah, I
The
think most
YouTube
people
people are
still
gonna
just
go
listen to
crazy.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll
yeah,
turn into the check out the YouTube to see that awesome visual joke.
right. All right, so Next Generation ends right May 1994. And
Okay.
this movie comes out November 18th, 1994. They started filming like while they were already filming the last few episodes of Next Generation. They were doing like all the shit that doesn't have the cast in it, basically. And then 4 days after finishing the finale of Next Generation, the cast reported to the set.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah. They
Spoiler: they all survive the series.
yeah.
Oh wow. Every
So
single
they
one of them.
well
Are there any
they
deaths in Star Trek of main characters? Ever?
Yes. In
Yes.
fact, there's a first
Spock died.
season. Tasha Yar.
Kirk died.
Well, Hawk died. Hawk, that was a big deal, to be
Hawk
honest.
Tua? There's a character Hawk
Hawk,
Tua.
yeah,
Remember
that's
Hawk Tua?
yeah,
She's back.
No way.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
when.
hmm She just came back from the crypto scam that she ran.
I didn't
Yep.
know she came back.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm back. Hey, Hawk Tua,
I'm back.
spit on that thing again. Um, yeah, there originally there Worf had an assistant who was like the security officer, another woman character named Tasha Yar, and
She
she
got refrigerated.
what?
That's what you call it when you like just kill a woman just so you can kill someone.
Why
Oh,
are you
well,
refrigerated? Why not?
I
For a woman.
I think she did Playboy, and then they killed her off the show.
Wow.
She was on it for like the whole first season. I think they kill her in the beginning of the second season, if I remember
Right.
correctly.
So
So
the writers slut shamed her.
Yeah, sounds
yeah,
like it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Gene
Horrible.
Roddenberry's like, that's not. I don't like it.
And I'm like, well, you have Rod in your name, Gene.
Yeah,
You should like it.
and Barry. Um, um, notably, her character. There's an episode where everyone on the Enterprise gets drunk, and they basically have an orgy, and that's where
What?
Data mentions he's had sex, right? At when he's talking to the Borg Queen, when the Borg Queen's trying to fuck him, in First Contact. Well, he fucked Tasha Yar.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
really.
Borg Queen is the hottest one of all the Star Trek Next Generation cast members.
what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What about
Of
Guinan?
I'd only bone Borg Queen of all the ladies introduced in these two movies.
That's crazy.
Logan, you're into Guinan?
No, I mean Beverly and Troy are
Who's
both
Guinan?
pretty hot. That's
Guinan
Whoopi
is
Goldberg.
Whoopi.
Oh,
But Beverly and Troy are both pretty hot. What are you talking about?
No, they're very hot. Those two are
Yeah.
very hot.
Yeah,
And
what are you talking
and
about?
you should see Deanna Troy's outfit from the show. She usually just wears a tight bodysuit, and for some reason they put
yeah,
her
but
in
God
the.
forbid she takes that bodysuit off. You're killed.
Well, they're in
No,
space.
are you kidding me? She's hooked up with Riker the whole time, and Beverly Crusher is
No,
pounded Picard.
that was a reference to how if you take your clothes
Right.
off,
It's like a horror
you're no
film.
longer allowed on the show.
Jason will show up if you start having sex
Yeah, that's
in this
true.
He was in
franchise.
space once.
Only once, yeah. We got to put him back in space.
Yeah, why not?
All those franchises that already went to space, run it back. Just send them back up to space. That'd be
Running
fun.
back.
First franchise to go back up to space.
All right,
That'd be
so
fun.
this film, it's directed by David Carson, who was just like a dude who directed a bunch of episodes of Next Generation and shit. He also directed the pilot episode of Deep Space Nine, which I think was 2 hours. Um, he he's the guy here. It came out November 18th, 1994, $35 million budget. It made $118 million at the box office, coming in at number 15 for the year between Disclosure and Ace Ventura Pet Detective. And
Already then.
yeah. And here it was nominated for 2 Saturn Awards. It was best sci-fi movie. It lost to Stargate.
Mm.
And best supporting actress Whoopi Goldberg. She lost to Mia Sara.
Why did we love her so much? Whoopi
Honest,
Goldberg.
she really was beloved.
What? Yeah, what is that?
Maybe from Sister Act.
Whoopi?
I mean, she started in the color purple, and when she was like nominated there, and then Ghost, like she wins an
But
Oscar, and then here
but
where we love her, so she's barely in
comic
this
re
movie.
comic relief was like a big thing with Robin Williams, Billy Crystal. Like she's
Oh,
a
that's true.
comedian
You
to
know what
start.
else? She was like a black lady at a time where like it was hard to gain, like you could be like black famous back then, but it was hard to be like universally liked among white people if you were a black lady. And
But she
she
had it.
got there. And
Yeah,
so
it's
like
just weird though to me.
they would put her in like anything because like you get the diversity you want, but you also fucking everyone's fine with it.
Yeah, they'll all cheer.
Yeah.
All right, fair
Yeah,
enough.
They say whoopee.
yeah,
Whoopee.
and the Whoopster was a fan of Star Trek and asked to
That's
be
right.
added into the show. And like the character showed up like 4 seasons in or something, and like would sporadically. She's the bartender at the bar. Basically, we saw her doing some service, a bottle service, and then apparently she's immortal and lived in the wormhole thing or
What is
the
going on with that?
I had to
or
beef up her character.
she's a type of alien that just lives longer, right? Like
No,
she
I don't care about that. The fucking the stupid, what is it? They you say
the Nexus,
wormhole,
the
but yeah, the
Nexus.
Nexus, right?
That's where
I
Kirk
thought
went,
that
right?
was gonna be like awesome. Like they're like you go in there and it's like we worship that fucking place. Malcolm McDowell's like I've been trying to get into the Nexus my whole fucking
Hmm.
life. And
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, what goes on in there? That sounds awesome. And then it's just sort of like fake heaven.
Yeah.
Well, heaven is fake heaven, according to you,
Good point.
not according to others.
Not according to dumb people.
What would your Nexus be,
Oh,
Dan?
What? I mean,
the Playboy Mansion.
Mm.
the Playboy
No, Dan.
Mansion.
Something
Dan.
pervy that came to mind.
No,
Oh.
Dan would be at like Diddy's party.
Shut up. No, I would not.
Epstein Island.
Epstein Island? What the fuck? Who am I to you people?
A super horny creep.
Who is you? Data.
Data. Yeah.
Anyway, do you have a 1994 list, Tim?
I do. I prepared it even though Logan didn't want it.
Well, you
Um,
just said like, "What are y'all doing?" And I answered, "We're not doing anything."
yeah, exactly. All right, here we go. I, I've you feel like people remember your lists. Like I've committed your guys' list to my memory. No.
True.
No, we just want them to be referenceable. Like I'm not gonna say them twice,
Yeah, I
but
don't
like
want
if
to do it
someone
over.
really wants to hear that list, it's out there.
Or if we
Yeah.
watch a movie, a franchise movie that makes its way onto the list, maybe I'll reference that.
That
Like
almost never
like
happens.
Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, new number 8 for that year.
Remember when Henry put like a Harry Potter movie on his
Half
list?
Blood Prince was number
Yeah.
10. Yep.
The one that makes no sense. That
Yeah. But it makes
hilarious.
sense for Henry.
Sure. He likes
Dark.
he likes when Snape's like, I am the half blood prince. And
He
it's
loves
like,
that.
what does that mean? No one knows what that means.
Exactly.
All right. Honorable mentions, Clerks, Interview with a Vampire, and of course, covered on We Love Kids movies, Baby's Day Out.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Number 10, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Number 9, Natural Born Killers. Number 8, Speed. Oh, number 7, Chungking Express.
Oh well.
Number 6, Hudsucker Proxy. Number 5, True Lies. Number 4, Red. Number 3, Hoop Dreams.
The
Number
Three
2,
Colors
Ed
movie.
Wood. Yeah, Christoph Krzyzewski. Um, number 2, Ed Wood. And number 1, Pulp Fiction.
Oh hell yeah. Shout out to you, Ed Wood. That's cool.
Good
Yeah.
list. It's a good list.
Yeah.
All right.
Decent.
I don't have anything to say about these movies. Talk about it.
You ever see River of Grass, Tim?
No, I haven't.
You should
What's
watch that.
Okay.
It's It's the first movie by what's her face?
Logan likes to take movies I've recommended and then make them his own recommendations.
That's
Well, I
fine.
noticed he hasn't seen that. It's the Kelly
That,
Reichardt's first movie,
that's
River
how
of Grass.
movies work, Dan. Like
Yeah,
we're teaching our young
you show
friend
me,
about
I show
movies,
someone
right?
else.
I
Yeah.
like to have ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that one's mine, River of Grass. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, Generations.
All right, there are pirates.
Were these the only three we could get? Kirk,
Oh, it starts with.
Chekhov, Scotty. They show up at a
I'm
party.
sure the other ones would have done it. It's not a
Oh,
party.
it's like
Yeah, but it's
congratulations.
it starts with that shot of the bottle of Dom Perignon from 2045 or whatever going through space, and it crashes into the new
Oh
ship.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, that is a cool shot.
That brand is referenced in the song Champagne Problems by Taylor Swift. She mentions that brand. I wouldn't have
then the
said
guy
that, but you
from
brought it up.
and then the guy from Succession is there.
The guy from Succession is
What the
Cameron from
hell?
Ferris Bueller. It's Alan Ruck.
Can
the
we
great
redo
Alan
that? That
Ruck.
was crazy.
Sorry. Okay, Alan Ruck from Spin City is
From
Yeah.
Speed, right? Isn't he in Speed?
yeah.
That was
Yeah,
crazy.
Alan
He's
Ruck
on the
from
bus.
I think
Alan
he
Ruck.
is, yeah.
Yeah. Alan, he's the nervous guy on the bus. He's like he's like scared to jump across when they're like
Yes.
unloading
I'd
him.
be scared too. It's a stressful situation in that film.
But you can't hold
Oh.
up the line. You just got to do it. Or you'll get
Zero
everyone
shot
killed.
Dan. Zero shot Dan gets off the bus, by the way. There's no
He just
way.
crashes and dies.
Are you kidding me? I'd be the fucking Keanu Reeves in that situation.
No way.
No, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
Logan thinks he would be though.
Yeah, Logan
No.
100%.
I know I would be.
Logan's
I would
more the
try to be.
Sandy. Logan's more the Sandy B, to be honest. In this
I'd be
speed
both.
situation,
I'd be like directing, but also driving at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
you jump, oh, you get off.
yeah. And
While,
Dan,
while
you're more
talking to Dennis Hopper or whoever it is.
yeah, and that's more Dan's.
Dan is
character.
Dennis Hopper in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Was it Dennis Hopper? I don't even know. Who
You
it
should
was.
duck when
Yeah.
you get on the subway. You should duck, Dan. That's my advice to you. Okay.
This is a real glimpse into how you guys see me. I'm just like a fucking terrorist who's a pedophile, and I mean, it's,
How is this any news to you? Like, why aren't you aware of this? We've said this like 100 times every podcast we're on.
God.
Like, who is you? Is like picking the creepiest person on
Yeah, you were the guy who
cast, right?
fucked the pool in Piranha 3 Double D. Right? That was your who is you.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
There was a
about
guy fucking the pool
Yeah.
that.
jet.
Yeah. All right, go on. So yeah, Chekhov and Kirk and Scotty are there, and they're like christening a new enterprise, and it's Alan Ruck who's the captain.
Yeah.
But like they don't
enjoyed
have
him a lot.
everything done because everything's coming on Thursday or something.
That was funny.
And so but they encounter some trouble,
The
and
Nexus shows up and it like fucks them up. Because they go to try to save a ship from the Nexus and they end up beaming people out of the Nexus, and they're all like, no, fuck you, put us back in heaven, we don't want to leave heaven. It's Malcolm McDowell apparently.
right. They
apparently-
save 46 out of like 125 people, except they're not really saved because they want to be back in heaven. One of those guys is Malcolm McDowell. He's gonna be radicalized and spend the rest of his life trying to get back in there.
Yeah, it's like
And his name is
drug addict.
Sauron.
Yeah, Sorn.
Soren or something.
He's not a gigantic eyeball.
It's Soran. Sauron.
It's this is actually a prequel to Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.
I saw 3 of those.
Yeah, if you watched
Yeah.
watched the
4. I saw
the
3.5 of those.
3.5 of those, yeah.
if you watch the after credit scene of the
And some of the
anime,
show.
they show him like coming out of the Nexus to
Oh wow.
become an eyeball.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, so then we jump forward 78 years into the future, and now instead of wearing yellow, they all wear red if
Yeah.
you're part of the captain crew. Um, and yeah,
The
they're
future question mark?
the
We're on a
future.
pirate ship.
Oh my gosh, they're on a
Mm.
pirate ship and they're making Worf jump around to get his promotion. Um,
And they made
and
the
then
plank disappear out from under him. I like that
yeah,
effect when he fell
Riker's a
in.
real stinker. He Worf. They made Worf fall in the water no matter what. But it
Data
is.
pushes a lady into the water too, just to be a fucking dick. He thinks it's
I
funny.
Damn,
I'll
that's
tell you this
crazy.
right now. When Jordy's like, Data, that wasn't funny. Jordy's freaking lying. It was hilarious. It was so good. Like imagine like hey, I'm the android guy. I'm trying to learn to be more human, and he just like pushes you into the fake water. Also, it's fake water. You're like in a hologram, so like, oh no, I'm all wet. Like, what happens when you walk out? You think you're still gonna be wet? Like, come on, grow up.
Wait, were you not wet anymore? Was Worf wet when he came out?
I would,
The water is part of the hologram.
yeah,
So what did he fall in?
Water,
water,
but
yeah.
then when you turn the holodeck off, that'll all disappear.
Just
That is
imagine you're
cool.
doing. You ever done VR, Logan?
Never
Like
one time.
Oculus or whatever?
Nope.
It's pretty cool actually. But imagine you fall in water in fake VR. Unless someone like dunks, like sprays water on you, you're gonna be dry.
I rented a virtual boy from a Blockbuster once.
Mm.
I don't
You
want
remember
to
the
ask what that
virtual
is.
boy?
Yeah.
No.
Did you get nauseous like everybody else?
No, but I think I got bored like 10 minutes in and stopped.
Yeah.
So I might have.
Not very good games, and also it's all red.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty good.
All right. Well, what's next? Go ahead.
Oh, what's next
Tim,
is
you're gonna take us through this.
We meet Whoopi
oh
at some point.
yeah, well, Whoopi shows up because they need to know about the Nexus. And we find out that it's kind of like drug addicts who like want to go be back in the Nexus, but Whoopi's gotten over it. Unfortunately, Malcolm McDowell did not. Um, and yeah, like what they encountered the Nexus, and then
If you're
uh,
wondering what Malcolm McDowell was like in this movie, picture Malcolm McDowell in any movie.
sure,
It's a good
he's a good
description.
he's a good guy to be like a Star Trek guy who's like, I'm old. I'm a alien who could just live another however many years. It doesn't matter. I met Kirk and Spock. Well, I guess we forgot to say Kirk died in the quote unquote died. He
Yeah,
the
but he
they
really just ended up in the Nexus.
But then he
yeah,
does
yeah.
die.
He's in the Nexus
Right.
chopping wood. Imagine you go to heaven and like you have to chop wood in heaven.
He seemed
And
to love it. That's what he wants to
Yeah,
be doing.
that's
I
yeah,
love when
awesome.
Picard shows
uh,
up. He doesn't even stop chopping wood. He's like, Picard,
No.
grab some more wood.
what
Set it up for me. I'm gonna
what did
chop
Yeah,
it.
what
I
did that
loved that.
moment remind you of, Logan? I'm like, I watched that moment. I'm like, oh, I know what Logan's gonna reference here.
I don't know. Do you want me to say the Avengers?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. The
I,
Avengers, Age
I
of
assume
Ultron.
I assume that was your point of reference. You're
I
like
didn't think about it,
expecting.
but now that you
I
bring
ex-
it up,
I expected
Logan,
Kirk
you
to
ever
like.
chop a piece of wood?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
When?
like I feel like
Oh,
the
many
Alabamian
times.
I'm
is most.
skeptical.
I feel like he's the one of the three of us who are most likely to chop wood.
What? Just
Yeah, I've
because he
done it many
lives in
times.
like a fucking backwater hick country?
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
We need fire. Stay warm.
yeah. He's like chopping wood to make burning crosses, right? Like you gotta like form the wood properly.
And I make steaks for the vampires. You never know
Yeah.
when they're coming.
uh,
I watched Sinners last night. That was pretty good.
I
You
still haven't
watched in
seen it.
theaters?
No
Yeah.
spoilers, please.
I was thinking it's
Oh, you
weird
haven't
when
seen it? I
someone
thought you
says
saw it.
I watched a movie and it's in theaters. You saw a movie.
Oh, I saw a movie.
Yeah. I
Well,
saw Sinners last
I
night.
saw Sinners. It was great. Loved it.
Yeah.
If people do that though, like I remember, like as a kid, like they'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to the theater to watch Spider-Man." I'm like, "What?"
What does it matter?
I don't know. That bothers me.
That's like the
Hmm.
difference between like someone is like you're in a movie but you're on a show. Like no one would say like someone is like on that movie or in that
There
maybe you'd
you
say
go.
in that show, but I would say like on that show.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Uh, I wanted to see Sinners, but I let my daughter pick, and she picked Drop instead. And
Surprised she
I've
didn't
been
pick Minecraft.
well,
No, she's really
had
into
already
horror right
seen
now.
Minecraft. Yeah, she really likes horror,
Hey,
and
when you
Drop.
saw Minecraft, at the
Yeah,
part with the pig, did they drop popcorn on your head?
no, but we did. The audience was into it,
Is that a
and
Carrie reference?
they did
No, that's
yell.
like a
No,
thing.
there's
There's like
call and
an
response
internet
stuff.
thing right
Yeah.
now where like there's this one part of the Minecraft movie where like you fucking like when it happens, you like pour your popcorn onto like the fucking row in front of you.
What? I was aware of like
That's
a chicken fight.
yeah, that's not Dan's not 100% correct, but
I've seen the
he
videos.
he's close. At our screening we did yell chicken jockey. There was like some
Hmm.
preteens in our screening, and they said the first thing, basically any lines from the trailer people shout it out. So it's like Jack Black saying I am Steve, or Flint and Steel, or chicken jockey. And I will tell you, Minecraft has been one of my best movie going experiences, because it's a fucking stupid movie that's Napoleon. It's like, if you like Napoleon Dynamite, that's what the Minecraft movie is. The same director. Oh, cat. Um, and but there was audience reaction. I love when like the audience is so into a movie that you have like that experience of like
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
can be
almost never
doing
fun.
something.
happens though.
Yeah, it's
Got to go to more
rare. That's why it's
kids
awesome.
movies.
Yeah, you got to
But
go to the Minecraft movie, bro. They're and go and yell chicken jockey. Um,
I'm gonna go and ruin someone's day with my bucket of popcorn.
You should. Steve dies at the end.
he doesn't. He
Like Snape kills
survives.
Dumbledore. Remember when your friend did that? Snape kills
Oh
Dumbledore.
yeah, Snape kills.
Ruined it.
That was the book release
That was
for
terrible.
a Half Blood Prince. All right, someone look, we got to I have to like leave
Okay, we
soon.
Yeah,
battle. Kirk dies. It's sad. I didn't
yeah.
really
This
buy that
movie
he was really dying, but
this
whatever.
movie it like here's the biggest problem with these movies too, is they like have to split them all up, and there's a part we're missing, the parts of the movie where they're like telling each other like, hey, uh, in this movie Captain Kirk, they like beam him all by himself onto the like desert planet, right, where he's trying to kill Soren or stop Soren from launching the missile to blow up the star. And it's
Yeah.
like you didn't send your captain with at least one other person or like a security officer. You're just gonna let Captain Picard, basically the most important person on the team, be by himself. And
It's
then
just because they want like Picard and Kirk one on one.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Dan.
Oh,
I'm
would I
just
make your point for you?
thank you.
But you're
Uh,
right. I mean, you
I'm
don't want him to
just
die. Send him with some backup.
I'm just saying there's no proof that like he even met Kirk. Like he's gonna come back and be like, hey, guess what? I met Kirk, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, bro, yeah, sure.
Why would he lie
You
though?
went. I, he wouldn't, so they would believe him because he's Captain Picard. He's an honorable man. Um, so he goes
Maybe
into
he'll
the
take
net.
Kirk's axe. Show him.
Yeah,
Just chop the
the
wood with this.
yeah
Yeah.
the
I don't know
the
how they
big.
know it was Kirk's though.
So Picard is all upset because
Monogram.
he got
Oh,
news. Kirk
unscripted.
I mean, Picard is upset because he got news that like his brother and his whole family died in a fire. Um, and so he's sad because he realizes he's the last Picard that'll ever exist because
The
he's never gonna.
bloodline shall not continue.
Yeah,
I'm
for
the
some
last
reason
Picard.
he
Why
could
not
have
have
a
another
kid.
one? Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
Yeah, I don't know. He's like
He
not
doesn't
there.
want kids. He's not that guy. I respect it. Listen, if my whole family perished, I wouldn't be like having kids just for the sake of continuing this bullshit family.
Really? You wouldn't do that?
No,
It all relied on you?
that's right. I'd let it die.
That's sort of crazy.
Yeah,
Why? Really?
and
You agree?
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
I
wouldn't like want my family to die. That's
I don't
sad.
want my family to die either. I'm just not adding to it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if my family died, I think I would feel some sort of responsibility to like not be the
Listen, if
last one.
every single member of my family died, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
You'd feel pride being the last one. You're
That's
like, I
right.
outlived all those motherfuckers.
There's
Hell
no
yeah.
way I'm gonna be
I'm the top dog.
I am the youngest in my family, but I may be the first to die.
Well, if your nieces don't count, is your family?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
They're the youngest in
They'll
your
they'll
family.
outlive me. Yeah, they'll be all right.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I think
What are
it's
we talking
over.
about? It's over.
I mean, we
well,
talked about
okay,
the Kirk dying.
So
yeah.
Kirk originally, like this script leaked heavily on the internet. The internet was starting to become a thing around this time. In fact, Star Trek Generations had the first ever website of any
Wow.
movie.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
how about that? Uh,
Well,
but in the original script, Kirk gets shot in the back by Soren, and Star Trek fans got mad, so they did reshoots. So he had like a heroic death.
I like
People
that.
still thought people still didn't like this death for Kirk because ultimately Kirk like rides on a rail and falls off a mountain. Like, is that more heroic than getting shot in the back? Like maybe if
He
Kirk
gets
like
to do a cool jump.
maybe if
And he
Kirk like
dies. It's a good scene.
what if like Kirk like steps in front and gets shot in the back to save Picard? Like that's heroic, right? Instead, he's like, I'll do this jump so I can grab this thing, and then I'm off a mountain, right? Like he fucking just and then like gets buried
I
on
thought
the
it was
rock
heroic.
planet. I mean, has two deaths technically, right? Like his I think it's more heroic that he like saves the whole ship and like his section gets blown out, right? Like
Yeah.
and he's just dead in this he saves Scotty and Chekhov. Oh, by the way,
They
we
should have
meet
died.
Sulu's
Oh, great.
Oh
daughter.
yeah, she was a
Yeah.
tasty piece.
Okay.
That was fun. Yeah.
Are you
Oh,
Hikaru Sulu's daughter?
oh my.
At one point, Shatner said "fucking oh my" in this movie.
Yeah,
And
that's
No
his
I,
way.
last words. Those
I,
are his last
yeah,
words. He
I
dies
thought
by saying,
Logan was
"Oh
gonna
my."
lose his
Yeah,
mind
I
because
I
he
You're
thought
killed.
of
right.
I
Yeah,
thought of Logan too.
I
That's his.
loved his fight, but I didn't put the Takai connection together. But you're totally right. I loved actually how that happened. He's like, oh my, and then he just like died. But his whole scene, I didn't feel like he was dying in that moment. Like I don't know,
Oh,
I didn't feel like life was leaving that man. Did you? I don't know.
well, it's hard to imagine Shatner dead. He's still alive.
yeah.
Well, there are
Yeah.
plenty of other actors still living that I've seen die, and I have believed it more.
I don't know.
Mm.
There's certain actors though, like or people, and like I remember when David Bowie died, I was like, "What? He can die?"
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
That's sort of how I feel about Shatner.
David
he'll live
Lynch
forever.
got got me like I couldn't believe he died type of thing. So
He seemed immortal.
yeah. But Captain Kirk died, everybody. He'll never be back. But don't worry,
Nope.
Logan. Another one of your friends will return in future movies. You get to see good
I mean,
old
Kirk's
Spock.
gonna come back.
Oh yeah, we will see
I don't know
Spock.
what you're talking about, but Kirk
What do
is
you
too.
No, he's
What are you
not.
talking about?
You're
He's
never gonna see
dead.
Captain Kirk again. He just
We get a
died.
reboot.
Oh,
Oh
not
yeah,
that Kirk. Oh, that's a different
but
Kirk. The other
we'll
one
see
doesn't count.
Leonard Nimoy as
Oh, that's
Spock.
what you
Yeah,
mean.
you'll
Okay,
literally see the Spock. You
that's
also
cool.
see you'll see Spock B. Dan's just taking off his
Hopefully, he
headset
shows
because
this
he
guy
doesn't.
I'm
Data how
going
to
to get a
act.
seltzer.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so this one I had seen. I love Next Generation, but this movie never did it for me. I'm all about First Contact, Logan.
Okay.
So
Is this your least
that
favorite of the movies?
of the
Because it's
four,
mine so far.
yeah, I mean, of the next gens that I've seen, this is my least favorite. I don't like the God one, the free solo one was
Oh,
always.
come on.
Also, I'm not invested in the Kirk or Spock or any of them because I'm more like Picard and Data. They rule.
Because you didn't watch along with us. If you watched along with us, you would be invested.
Yeah, well, that's why I listened. I don't have to watch all the movies you
I'm just
guys.
telling you that that one's good. You're that's not the worst one.
Okay. Well,
He think
yeah,
he
this
says
was.
five is the worst one. I don't think that was
It
cool.
is.
What? You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of these two, five is worse than both of these?
Do you think Star Trek Five: The Final Frontier is better than Star Trek First Contact? What is
Logan
Yes,
happening right now?
by a lot.
he really loves row your boat.
What the Star Trek First Contact is like a pretty great movie. Yeah, I'd
No
Yeah,
never seen it
way.
before. I'd heard nothing but good things.
you just hate the new characters, Logan.
I
You aren't
do. I
open.
do. I do. I'm
The
not a
Borg
fan.
fucking kick ass.
I don't like them.
Yeah, the Borg rules. Like, let's finish this movie. Okay, I gave it 3 stars.
Two
It's fine.
stars.
I give it three also.
Holy shit. These was the first week where it felt like a chore.
Who's your MVP,
I
Logan?
I, I didn't feel that
Yeah,
way at
this
all
is
this
nuts.
week.
Yeah, what? This
Wow.
is nuts. Nuts.
I felt it two times. Who's your MVP?
What's
My MVP has got to be Kirk. He's in it.
Kirk?
Who else would it be?
Hard.
Mm. You agree, Danny?
I'm gonna go Kirk too.
Oh wow, hell yeah. Who's the LVP?
Data.
Oh, great call. Great call. Yep.
He's Data is. I'm going to tell you right now. He doesn't have emotions in the show. This is a new thing. They really made him annoying. Gave him so much. It was like I. It is. I have to say I hate Data in this movie. Like absolutely unwatchable. So I'm going to say Data too. Although Sulu's daughter is a close second.
Oh,
I
stop
didn't
it.
find her offensive or anything at all.
I think Data's a MVP contender in First Contact, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Data
it's a real
rules.
turnaround.
Yeah, he rules. They're like they mention the the motion chip, and then he's like, yeah, turn it off. And he's like, yes, sir. And he turns it off, and it's like, good. None of your dumbass shenanigans.
All right, so we're back. Star Trek First Contact. It's 2 years later. Um, I didn't write down the date that this came out for some reason.
I'll look
Can
it
someone
up.
look that
Keep
up?
talking.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. This Braga and Moore are back to write, but we have a new director, Jonathan Frakes, who plays Riker on the show. He's directing. This is his first film. He directed a lot of episodes of the TV show, but they let him do a movie, and this one was really successful, and so they let him do the next one, and then that one wasn't so successful, but they kept letting him direct movies for a little while. He
Really?
did, yeah, he did Clock Stoppers. You ever see
Okay.
that?
Heard of
That's
it.
it's with Jesse Bradford, and it's like you can stop time and walk around.
Is he
I
John
remember.
Tucker?
No, he's the male lead in Bring It On.
Yep. The
Oh, I
the
get
he
them
brushes
confused.
he brushes his teeth with Kirsten Dunst.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene.
Yeah, it is.
Kirsten Dunst brushing her teeth.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was hot.
Also, of course, Faith is in that movie too, and she does a bunch
And
of flips.
Glory.
Yeah. Hey,
Mm.
I thought of you
Faith
guys.
and glory.
Jules and I, to fall asleep, have been watching Private Practice, the Grey's Anatomy spin-off 6 season show starring Addison, who's Derek's wife, and she goes to LA and with Tay Diggs and the guy from Wings. Um, uh, I will
The
say,
boring one, not the good one.
yeah, the boring one. I will say, must be connected somehow to the Whedon verse because there are so many like Buffy and
There are a
Angel.
lot of Buffy and Angel people on Grey's Anatomy too. Shonda Rhimes is a big Buffy fan.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I watched, I saw Fred,
Like
and
who?
then
Oh, Fred.
Fred was
Nicholas
there.
Brandon has like a whole arc on there, right?
Yeah, Tara was just on. My wife's like, "Oh my god, they're acting so horrible in this," and Jules was right. But notably, Forrest, Logan, I thought of you when Forrest
I don't know
showed
if I'd
up.
recognize. I think I would. I would recognize him. Have y'all
Yeah.
seen I Saw the TV Glow?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
Tara
meant
was
like
there.
Tim and his family, like Tim and his wife. Yeah, because Tara was there. Did she say the same thing?
I don't.
Insult
Jules didn't
Tara's
watch.
acting?
Jules didn't watch that, but
Oh,
I did. I couldn't really remember. She was just in the show that they were watching, right? Or I can't
no, no, no. We
remember.
go like visit her. She's like one of the
Yeah.
moms of somebody.
All
Oh,
right.
okay,
All
yeah,
right.
okay.
Listen, the problem with Frakes' directing career is after Clock Stoppers, he made this movie Thunderbirds, which was
Mhm.
Yep.
based on like a marionette show from the 60s. And they made it into this big budget live action movie. And that shit was a disaster. Like it went way over budget and it made like $10 million at the box office or something. So that was basically it for Frakes. They didn't let him direct movies after that. He still directs TV quite a bit, including like the latest Star Trek shit.
Yeah,
Um,
They
Picard.
put the brakes on Frakes.
good, very
It
good.
released November 22nd, 1996, by the way.
Okay, all right. It had a $45 million budget. Um, Basically, the development of this was Braga and Moore wanted to do the Borg. The Borg had been like a very successful thing on Next Generation. It was a big two-parter at the end of the fourth season
Hmm.
called The Best of Both Worlds. Like I know those episodes having never watched Next Generation because like in like TV critic circles you hear those brought up as like great TV
Like I
episodes.
knew the body before we ever
Right,
watched
right.
Buffy.
It it was like a big. I remember when those episodes came out. It was like a huge. It was like one of the biggest things ever talked about the show because
Well,
Jean Luc was assimilated into the Borg, and they're like, shit, like no,
Locutus.
yeah, he was the only. He's until Seven of Nine. He's the only other person who's ever been unassimilated in that universe. So um,
who
Yeah.
plays
great.
Seven of Nine? Isn't that somebody?
Jerry
Jerry Ryan.
Ryan,
Yeah.
who won OC Survivor when we played.
Oh
Uh,
shit.
mhm. So they want you the Borg, then and the studio, like the producers, were like, we want to do a time travel movie. Star Trek 4 was really successful for us. That had time travel. So they're like, can we do both? Like we could probably figure out a way to do both. And
Hmm.
so that's how this started. Originally, they wrote a script that takes place in the past in during the Renaissance, and the script was called Star Trek Renaissance. And in
I like
that
that.
film, in the script, Data becomes Leonardo da Vinci's apprentice. So that would have been a very fun storyline.
Holy shit.
And so they scrapped that because like no one seemed really excited about it, and Picard said he didn't want to, or Patrick Stewart said he didn't want to wear tights the whole movie, which was kind of the plan. And
But people would have thought he was sexy. That was
yeah,
for like our people audience that thought he was hot.
You know that guy's wearing tights all the time, no matter
yeah,
what.
he fucking does Shakespeare and shit. Shakespeare's all about tights.
Yeah.
So then they rewrote it.
It's either put on the tights or get in a wheelchair, Patrick. What do you want? Those are your options.
Pretty good.
Sick.
All right. Star Trek Resurrection was going to be the title next. Um, but they scrapped it because Alien announced that their next movie was going to be called
Oh,
Resurrection,
I love it.
and so they changed it. Star Trek First Contact. Boom. First, they wanted like a real director to direct it. Let's get like a movie director because like the Borg is going to require a lot of special effects and shit. We're gonna have a bigger budget on this one. So they reached out to Ridley Scott, who turned it down. They reached out to John McTiernan, who turned it down. and then they were like,
Wow.
"Fuck it, Jonathan Frakes." Um,
They should
uh,
have reached out to Spock. Leonard Nimoy probably would have been
well,
like
he turned
good at
down
it.
Generations,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Don't
yeah.
waste our time with this
Hmm.
one.
All right, so yeah, but maybe he would have now that like Shatner's not in the cast. I don't have to deal with that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting point.
Yeah. This made $146 million at the box office, came in at number 17 for the year between Michael and Michael.
Michael, the John Travolta
Yeah, yeah, right.
Angel movie.
Yeah, but I wrote down Michael and Michael.
Maybe it's Michael Moore's.
Oh, I remember why I wrote that down because it was Space Jam, and I was like, "Oh man, this is
Oh
between
shit.
Michael and Michael." Uh, that's dumb.
Hey,
I should have known
hey,
I wouldn't remember that the next day.
you were trying to get you were you just wrote it that way because you didn't want me to, of course, reference when Space Jam's reference the
Oh, the
serververse.
server. Wow, a serververse reference. Okay,
Yeah.
click
Uh,
that, check that box off for the
yeah,
Tim
Al
episode.
Algae Rhythm, of course.
Yeah.
The
Should have called them Mike
serververse.
and Mike. You ever hear Mike and Mike? They used to do like a sports radio, Mike and Mike in the
No.
morning.
No, I know Mike and the Mad Dog.
Okay, them two, yeah.
I
Yeah.
I assume Dan knows Mike and Ike.
Mike and Ike,
Yeah,
sure.
that's a delicious candy. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I
my.
eat the sour Mike and Ike's quite a bit.
Of
Don't like
course
the
you do.
pineapple ones. I save them, give them to Dallas.
Mhm.
So
I want to say,
Saturn.
can I say something about Jerry Ryan first?
Go
Sure.
ahead.
I Googled her. Her her name was Zimmerman. Was she Jewish and then one of those people that ditched that name to try to like land more roles, possibly? Jerry Ryan,
Probably. You know who else's name was Zimmerman?
Who?
The guy who shot
Bob
the.
Dylan.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
wow.
that's right.
Somebody who did the opposite, Whoopi Goldberg, changed her name to Goldberg to
Yeah,
be
she
more
wanted
popular.
to be. Well, that's another reason she was so big in Hollywood. She was like a black lady who was willing to play the
And
games,
her
and
name's Whoopi. That's fun.
of course the Jewish elite run Hollywood, and so she was like, let me play.
Let me lean into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe she's a genius. I don't know.
All right, Oscars. This was nominated for an Oscar.
Well,
Hell yeah.
Best
Best
makeup.
picture.
No. Best makeup. It lost to The Nutty Professor.
Oh, clumps.
Hercules. Saturn
Hercules.
Saturn Awards.
Saturn Awards are the most appropriate awards for Star Trek,
Oh, of
right?
course. Yeah. The Saturn Awards love Star Trek. And this one did really well at the Saturn Awards. You will not believe some of the Saturn Awards this movie won. Hang on. I actually wanted to look up. There's like a couple of interesting things. All right, hang on.
should Tim do his list while you do that?
Yes, that's a
1996.
great idea, Logan.
I gotta say, Logan hating First Contact is like apocalypse.
I think
Now,
it was because
I feel like it's
category.
bizarre.
It's
I think it was
it's
because I
like
watched it after Generations, and I was
this is like
what the fuck?
this is
torture.
probably the best Star Trek movie. He's gonna love these
You
fucking.
haven't
J.J.
seen the
Abrams.
second movie. You haven't seen the best one.
Of the ones I've seen. This is the best
Okay,
Star
the ones
Trek
you've seen.
movie.
I
I've seen
kinda-
all of them going forward.
You think this is better than
I-
two?
Maybe Wrath of Khan's better, but
Why is this one so
This
good?
movie rule. It's so much action. It's got way more.
I feel like of the ones we've seen, Wrath of Khan, the whale one, and this one are the clear
This
three
cast
best.
They just can't beat
You just
the
hate the
original
new
cast.
guys. You're just a original flavored guy. Whatever.
I know.
Okay. Honorable mentions: Schizopolis, Brain Candy, First Contact, Citizen Ruth, and MSK 3000. The movie. All right, number 10.
MST3K.
Yeah, sorry. There you go.
Oh shit.
Number 10, Paradise Lost, The Child Murders of Robin's Hill.
Oh,
That's a good one, right?
weren't there sequels?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah,
you
we
guys
could
could
cover
do
that.
it. You could
Mhm.
cover it. What a bummer. Number 9, The Crucible.
We watched that in
number-
school.
Number 8, Beavis and Butthead Do
Say goodbye to
America.
the cat.
Right.
We're moving the cat.
Bye. Number 7, The People versus Larry Flint.
Hell yeah.
Number 6, Bottle Rocket. Number five,
Mm,
Hard Eight. Number four, Lone Star. Number
yeah.
three, Train Spotting.
Oh, this is a great list, Tim.
It's
Number
okay.
two, Scream. Number one, Fargo.
All
Great.
right. Bound, Matilda. Where were those at?
Matilda. What the
I've
fuck?
I haven't seen Bound.
Send me
Oh,
him away. Send me him away.
exactly. I have chill
Send me
bumps right
my
now.
way.
Gotta watch
Matilda.
Bound. Bound is awesome.
Yeah, I know it's on my list.
Oh my God, Tim, your review of Baby Girl on Letterboxd, like dissing the prudes that gave that a bad review. I fucking
Did you
loved
just
it.
watch that too?
yeah, I did just watch that.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
And you liked it.
they,
Did you get a
yeah,
five?
it was great. I gave it four.
Okay.
So we're a three, four, and five right here.
I'd probably go with
Um,
four. No.
I'm gonna watch Holland next, but I'm too nervous that I'll hate it.
I
Oh
don't think
yeah,
you'd hate it.
I will tear into you if you
It
hate
was
it.
it's whole just go in, it's like wholly entertaining.
I
I don't know how
well,
anyone could be
I love Nicole Kidman, so I think Nicole Kidman's the best. And
I met these two at my job a couple days ago. There were these two dudes. It was a dude and a girl. Like
did you fight him?
no, I thought they were a couple. They were both wearing Little Caesars t-shirts, and I was like, "Do you guys work at Little Caesars, or do you guys just love Little Caesars?" And they're like, "We're at a convention for like pizza people, I guess." And so they're like repping their company, and I said, "Oh,
so they do work there.
where's your Little Caesars at?" They said Michigan. I said, I know Michigan a little bit. Where in Michigan are you guys from? Holland.
Whoa.
Oh,
Did you
Blew my
tell
mind.
them? The best movie of
I
the
didn't
year
bring
so
up the
far?
movie. I just said that I went to a wedding there and it was very nice.
Oh,
did you
that's very
did
cool.
you did you mention, since they were pizza people, that you have a pizza for life card from Domino's?
That I gave you once.
I
Yeah, I
forgot
remember.
about that.
You just show up. Hey, Logan told me I can
Yeah,
pop in.
yeah. I hardly ever take advantage of it, Logan.
Oh, well, you should. You have it too, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I use it all
Okay.
the time.
Sure, your
All
family
right,
would love it.
let me
If
walk
your
you.
wife's like ever like, what are we having? You can just be like, oh, pizza.
Uh, so the Borg are like awesome
I
on the
I
show.
gotta do the Saturn Awards.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, I don't gotta, but I will.
What
Uh,
What the
happened?
hell? This guy is like just walked
Uh-oh.
up. He's gonna like do a fucking blowing air near my car. So
What?
sorry, I
He's
might
blowing
mute
air in your
myself.
car?
Yeah. This guy just fucking showed up. What an asshole.
What in the world?
Best sci-fi movie. It was nominated. It lost to Independence Day. All right. Patrick Stewart was nominated for Best Actor, lost to Eddie Murphy for The Nutty Professor. We loved The Nutty Professor.
Holy shit.
Um, it Best Director, Frakes lost to Roland Emmerich for Independence Day. Best Writing, they lost to Kevin Williamson for Scream. And Makeup, they lost to Nutty Professor. Music, they lost to Mars Attacks. Visual Effects, they lost to Independence Day. Now, listen, they won some awards, though. They
Mhm.
won for costumes, and they won 2 acting awards for this film. And most notably, in my
Yeah.
opinion, Best Supporting Actor. All right. Who do you think won the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor?
Cromwell.
Tim?
Tim's having no issues.
Sorry, this guy literally pointed the blower at my car while I'm like made eye contact, and he
Oh, he
blew
has a blower.
at me.
Like a
Yeah,
leaf blower?
he's leaf blowing right now.
Oh,
Fucking
I thought he was
asshole.
just
Because I'm in my
blowing on
car.
your car. Like,
Yeah. Um. Uh.
We
Best
can't hear it.
supporting. Okay, sorry. It's driving me insane.
no, it's all right.
Um. Uh. Yeah, Cromwell's a good guess. I'm gonna say LeVar Burton.
No, the answer is Brent Spiner.
Oh,
Brent Spiner for playing Data won Best Supporting Actor for this film. He beat such actors as Brent Spiner, also nominated for Independence Day, But Edward Norton for Primal Fear, Joey Pants for Bound, and Skeet Ulrich for Scream.
Whoa. I can't believe he didn't split the votes.
Yeah, no, everyone voted for
Oh my
David.
goodness.
Also, I
And
can't believe he got nominated just for being slammed up against glass for like 5 seconds and
he
then
got to
being
kiss
like,
that lady though.
yeah.
Best Supporting Actress, Alice Craig won the award for playing the Borg Queen.
That's cool.
Wow.
All right. And she beat such luminaries as Drew Barrymore in Scream and Jennifer Tilly for Bound. Um, and Trunchbull from Matilda. So you got your Matilda
Oh yeah.
nomination. All right. Oh, I by the way, I forgot an award from Generations. William Shatner was nominated for a Razzie.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the
They hate
fuck?
it. The
They've done that
Razzies just
before.
hate him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bullshit. Fuck
But worst supporting actor, William Shatner, he lost to O.J. Simpson for Naked Gun 33 and a third.
oh, shit.
I think the trial was happening. So like
Yeah.
He didn't accept. He didn't go
we
up and
gave him
accept
a
the award.
Razzie basically for like murdering a lady. Well, I think he was in
Yeah.
prison.
He didn't do that. He didn't murder anybody. He only went to jail
He's,
because he like stole his trophies back. Remember?
yeah, he was innocent.
He
They
didn't do
proved
that.
him innocent in court.
In a
So
court of law.
yeah,
The glove didn't fit. They
He
had
tried
to
it
fit.
on and
he
then
had
didn't
to.
fit.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
He went on a tour to find the actual murderers.
He died not having known who did it. That's
Oh
very
yeah,
sad to
that's
me.
right.
I think
If
the
I did
murderers
it,
murdered
here's
him.
how.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is he one of the funniest people that ever lived?
Yes.
No.
I think he is.
The funniest murderer probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Um yeah. Guys, there's
We got
so
like
many
15 minutes. Talk to me about Star
Oh,
Trek
okay.
First Contact.
there's
The
so
Borg
many
show up.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's so many like little Easter eggs to Star Trek Voyager and Deep Space Nine in
Ooh, I
this.
want to hear some
I
of them.
I will tell you right now, we you know why Worf is on that little ship and then he's not originally with the crew.
Yeah, I was
It's
wondering that.
because Worf is a main character on Star Trek Next Generation.
Really? Oh,
So the ship he's on is called the Defiant.
wait. Do you
Um,
mean like a different show? Because we knew Worf was on Next Generation.
Sorry, he's a main character on Deep Space Nine.
Ah,
In the second season of Deep Space Nine, Worf comes and he's there the whole time. He marries a lady on that. Um, uh,
is
did
it
you
a
guys see
Klingon
Adam
or a
Scott?
human? Yes.
No.
Well, this was my favorite part of the whole fucking franchise so far.
Adam Scott.
I Worf, that little ship he was on at the beginning, fucking Adam Scott's there.
Yeah.
Remember
So
he was in
that ship-
Hellraiser, one of the Hellraiser movies?
Yeah, this is even before that though, I think. And
So
That's
that ship's
incredible.
called the Defiant. The Defiant is like the main ship they ride in. Deep Space Nine is a space station, not a starship. So it like orbits this planet. So anytime they have to like go and do shit, they get into the Defiant. And then they beam. I like how they beam Worf aboard the Enterprise, and he just immediately like picks up his old job. He's like, "Oh, I guess I'm running security again, or weapons, or whatever the hell Worf did." So, but then they go back in time, so he's pretty much stuck in it. Imagine like Dan. Imagine like you go and visit the building that you're the doorman at, and they just immediately make you do doorman job even though you don't work there anymore.
those
Damn.
pieces of shit would.
um yeah, so the Borg have decided they're going to go back in time and kill the assimilate the Earth. So they they want to make a beacon to make the other Borg show up. And
You know what I like about the Borg? Their ship is a cube.
Yeah, the Borg cubes
There's
are
something
cool.
compelling about that.
Yeah, and then
Absolutely.
but their spaceship's a perfect circle too. they're a lot like ants, and if you like it, they're like zombies too. If you get touched, you get assimilated, and then my favorite part is like when Picard kills someone and the woman's like, oh, they're wearing your uniforms. He's like, yeah, that was ensign whoever. There was nothing I could do for him. And it's like, Picard, you got unassimilated. Why couldn't you unassimilate the rest of your crew, right? Like, just because he's special. So
Yeah.
they go back in time and they want to stop first contact. So that's where Earth has a warp signature for the first time, because the Prime Directive is like, yo, don't interfere with um, primitive races or I guess planets, unless they
Oh,
have,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Interstellar travel or whatever.
yeah,
So
unless they have it, yeah. So the Vulcans who show up and like meet,
I love that. Cromwell goes out into outer space. He's doing the warp shit. And then when he like returns, the Vulcans show up and they're like, good job.
Yeah.
oh, nice to meet you. Live
Oh,
long and prosper. Can you do the finger thing,
of
Logan?
course I can. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
well, fucking
Well,
Cromwell could have.
Dan's more like this, right? Wait.
He's more like the shocker.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
What does that mean? Oh, the
It's
shocker.
the shocker.
The shocker.
Come on. You
All
guys
right.
have referenced the shocker like on the
Yeah, we
last
did
10
it
episodes.
twice recently.
Tim, you ever give your wife the
All
shocker?
right, wait, that's how'd you feel about the line, "You're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek"? Because I did not like
Oh, that was like Leonardo DiCaprio point moment, right? Like
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. There you go. That was good.
Yeah, that
Um,
was tough.
he really likes rock music and he likes drinking. That's what we know about.
I fucking hate this bullshit. This is like, you know how I always complain about how 80s music has like a lot of 50s. I mean, 80s movies have a lot of 50s
Mhm.
music, because it's just like that's the people who were writing movies at that point. That's what they were
Mhm.
into. Like it's the same thing here. Like it's the 2060s, but they're not listening to like hip hop or like techno or like trap music or whatever. They're of course listening to Roy Orbison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do
I
you
mean
you
like
don't do you listen to current music? A lot of people don't listen to current music.
yeah, but they're not Cromwell like they have him, he's like an old man. So he likes Roy Orbison, but he's an old man who was born in like the year 2005 or something. Like
Yeah.
he
You should be
he'd
listening
be,
to the All American Rejects.
yeah, that's what he'd be banging that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, listen, watch that OK Go video on YouTube.
Yeah, he would love that. He would probably recreate that with
Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, give him a break. He's the guy who like basically helps found Starfleet. So he's got a statue. They're like slobbing on his knob constantly, and it gives him anxiety because he's like, I don't want to be a statue. And they're like, well, fuck you, get in
When people
here.
are slobbing on my knob, that like really helps with my anxiety. Actually, it
Yeah,
helps.
right.
Yeah,
Well, this was
I get very
not real
relaxed.
slobbing on his knob. This
Did
was
you
Right.
did you
yeah.
like Jordy's upgrade that he got? He didn't have to wear the
No,
visor.
the visor's
Yeah, I
cool.
agree. I
I
like the
think the
visor way more.
visor's really cool. Why no visor?
I'm sure he liked it more too. He didn't have to wear freaking contacts
Yeah,
in
no,
his
no,
eyes.
no. Are you kidding me? I would think if you're an actor, you want to show your face.
Yeah,
I don't want
I'm
to be in
sure.
pain the whole time.
What you think? Rey Mysterio's in pain wearing contacts constantly?
I always thought, yeah, if you're wearing colored contacts, it like hurts your eyes, is it not? Is it like just
I,
wearing normal
I
contacts?
think if
I,
you keep them in for too long, it could strain your eyes. But I think in general, it's fine.
Oh,
I think LeVar Burton, this was
okay.
a request from LeVar Burton, who's like, I'm
I
not coming back
agree.
unless you like make it so I don't have to wear the fucking dumbass shit.
Yeah, I had the
Um,
same thought. He just
yeah,
did it for fucking 7 years.
yeah. He's like, I don't want to put the visor back on. And then yeah, of course the Borg, they blow up the Borg spear, which goes back in time, right? But then they have beamed aboard and start assimilating the USS Enterprise.
That's right.
E which we didn't talk about how
I
they.
gotta say, I thought the first like half hour of this movie was like great. I like the movie itself. Like I'm gonna give it a four. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the best Star Trek movies. But like I was like blown. Like I had seen you gave it a five, and I was like really understanding why at first. The whole thing where like they don't want Picard to to join the fight against the Borg because he's been assimilated, but he thinks that would help him, and he like
Mm,
knows Borg weaknesses because
yeah,
he's been assimilated. There, the action is like fucking kick ass. It's I don't know, it just looks really good.
I love that moment where it's like a dark room and then all of their like laser pointer things like start spinning around and they all point at the camera like they're coming towards you. The whole
Yeah.
the zombie element of the Borg is really cool. And then
I like that unless you're threatening them, they leave you alone.
yeah, exact, unless they view your threat. Yeah, you unless
Like a
and
bumblebee.
also what's cool is like they have to like keep changing their phasers, so the phasers just don't work at some point, so it makes it more intimidating. I love the spacewalk stuff too. Like they never really do that in the show where they go out and like Worf is like, I remember being nauseous. And then Worf's gonna die, right? And he ties the guy's hand around his leg and he says, resist this. Come on, Worf is
Yeah,
awesome.
resist this is baller.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
by the way, we didn't. I thought the best action sequence in the first one we didn't even talk about when the fucking
Ship
the ship crashed.
detaches. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Um, yeah, they all die too. Like the whole crew dies when the star blows up. And then we get to undo that because Picard goes back in time. Um, uh, hey Dan, what do you think about the Borg's catchphrase? Resistance is futile.
What about it?
It's kind of like your dating style, right?
Yep, I'm a terrorist and a pedophile and a rapist.
Yeah, is that the joke there?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. I've heard of that catchphrase though. Resistance is futile.
Yeah, that's the Borg. That's the thing. I thought Data said futile weird
Futile.
at the end. Yeah, futile. Data of course gets my favorite part too is like at the one part when Data like the Borg grab his legs and he does like the cartoon fall over and then they pull him into the room really quick. I thought that's funny. And then like Picard just assumes he's dead, right?
My favorite Data moment was when he's like, I really was tempted by the Borg for a minute. I was really tempted by the Borg. And Picard says, like, for how long? And he goes like 0.68 seconds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But for an android, that's an eternity.
Yeah.
And
That was a sweet moment.
Yeah,
Picard's
that's
like,
cool.
well, maybe you really are getting more human if you were tempted by a hot
Yeah.
lady.
Maybe one day he'll be fucking fat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
You
next
should
step. You're gonna let yourself go.
upgrade, upgrade your let yourself go mechanics. What'd you think of the Borg lady? Logan hates this movie. Like the Borg
We haven't mentioned
queen.
Alfred Woodard. Yeah, have we?
This is the
She's
first.
fucking great in
I
this movie.
really like
She
her.
has like three or four scenes with Patrick
Stewart.
Stewart where they are fucking acting the
They're
shit
doing
off
great.
each other.
Yeah. There was one part that I thought was a little, well, not a little silly, but like where they kind of I caught her like kind of break for a second, not really, but they're walking and he like turns around to like observe like their surroundings and she like looks up at him thinking he's trying to like make eye contact with her, but he's like looking around and she like notices he's like not looking at her and then she's like, oh, you're not looking at me, you're like, she like puts her head down. Maybe I'll try to find it in the
You always notice shit like that.
I know I'm a weirdo, but Yeah, but they're great. Anytime she was on screen, basically, that was my favorite part of the movie. She's probably
Yeah,
gonna be my MVP.
she's the MVP. Yeah.
Yeah, she was
Mm.
awesome. What was her character? Is she important?
Oh no. I mean, I can't remember her name. I just know that like
I'd know it if I heard it.
she's like the audience surrogate. So like Picard can explain all the
Yeah,
Borg
but
stuff.
there's more than that. Like she really like
No, she
gets into Picard's head and like makes Picard think about his life in a different way than he had before. It's interesting character development, and
Lily
I
Sloan.
I was hoping they'd fuck, but no.
she there's definitely that chemistry there, but she
It
is the
was like the
one that
Child's
like
Play one. The way I was like how the chemistry they had, but then she just like left at the end. Like you want them to fuck, but it doesn't happen weirdly. But it should. They were really nice together.
she well he couldn't fuck her because she's a person from the past. She might like undo somebody else's like
Wear a condom.
existence, right? uh
Work on
um yeah, but like if you like step on a butterfly, right? So if you fuck a butterfly, what happens in the past? um
Wear a condom.
uh she she has the like the great moment where like Picard refuses to like let the ship get destroyed, because they're like we need to blow up the ship and abandon the ship and get stuck in the past.
Yeah.
um but she's the one that like convinces him. She calls him Ahab, basically.
Yeah.
This is your white whale.
Yeah.
uh yeah. And then I love when like Picard like quotes Moby Dick and she's like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, that's Moby Dick. And she's like, oh, I never read
What
it. I
line
just
did
read
he say, Daniel?
it. Yeah.
What line from Moby Dick did he say?
I don't know because he read it in the original Klingon.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
exactly.
Call
Yeah.
me Ahab. I was
Ahab.
Jesus Christ, you fucking
that was
nerd.
like German.
No, I don't know Klingon. Come on. But yeah. Data meanwhile is like getting skin grafted on, and she like does that blow thing on his arm, and the hairs raise, and he's like basically orgasms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is hot.
You like a woman who's like torso's
A metal
retractable
torso.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
You
know.
like fucking Iron Man?
Maybe I would.
Iron Lady.
We haven't mentioned
Um,
Neil McDonough yet. He's around.
Yeah, Neil McDonough is around. I kept thinking that
Oh,
character was going to do a heel turn because I never seen Neil McDonough play good guys.
yeah, that's a good call.
But he was just sort of there.
He doesn't do anything. He's just like a face that's
Yeah.
around. He was pretty cute, I guess.
Lots of references to the other shows, Deep Space Nine and Voyager. There's one point when Beverly Crusher, the Borg, are like coming into sick bay, right? And she's like, "Oh, I never thought I need to do this," but then they get like a holographic doctor, the bald guy who shows up. Do you guys remember this part?
Yeah, I think
Vaguely.
so.
And she's like, make a distraction. He's like, this isn't my job. And then he like talks to the Borg about like, hey, your implants could do this. That's the doctor from Voyager. Voyager doesn't have a doctor. The doctor like dies, so they have to use the holographic doctor the whole time. And the more he's out, the more personality he gets. So he's actually the coolest part of Voyager.
Oh, it was certainly not that dirty woman.
Captain
Yeah.
Janeway's cool. It's just not my favorite show. There's also yeah, some other stuff. Whatever, you guys aren't into this.
No,
into
no,
everything
no.
you're saying.
I want the other references.
There's a character named Neelix on on Voyager. He's like this alien. He's like the bartender basically for Voyager, and his actor was the bartender at the film noir book holodeck thing. he like comes up and talks to Picard, and Picard's like, "We're in the wrong chapter," because he wants to get like the Tommy gun or whatever.
That
So
was
Wow.
awesome.
Is it Easter today or because I just found an egg?
yeah, there you go. There's an
Wow.
Easter egg.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Wow. Yeah. So Star Trek is fun. I like this movie a lot. The Borg rules. I saw this in theater and I love this movie. So I've watched it a ton. I know it's not like the best movie ever, but I five-starred it because I love it. And
Well, I love
engage.
that for you.
Do you like when Ethan Cochran, right? Like that's his name, the
Cromwell.
Cromwell's character.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, he says
Zephyr.
Zephyr Cochran, right? He says engage, and then they both look at each other like, oh, he said the thing that Picard says all the time.
Mm.
Um, yeah, that was good.
That's the thing about Beverly Crusher.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd think she's a nurse or something, doctor.
she's the doctor of the Enterprise. You misogynist.
All right. You'd think I think as a doctor she would have like a less violent last name. Crusher. You
I think
think
that's fun about it.
Yeah,
it is fun about
I always think about her like crushing my head between her thighs.
it.
Like, I love it. It's like Logan's such a misogynist. Viewing her as a nurse. You just view her as a fucking sex object.
What's worse, you know? Oh, that was great, Tim. Shout out to
Yeah.
I
Tim.
sexualize the alien villain. You guys are just like that fucking nurse. I wish you would put me under anesthesia.
The JJ one starts. Kirk is like fucking an alien, right?
Yeah,
That's
green
not how
alien.
it
Yeah.
starts. It actually starts with a Beastie Boys song, but
Oh,
um,
shout out to your shirt.
yeah,
It's
I can't stand it.
but yeah,
That
he's
one.
fucking the Green Aliens. Rachel, yes, actually,
yeah.
Rachel
Oh, wow.
Nichols.
Oh, from the OC.
It's
She in the OC?
essentially how we meet
No, who
Star
do you
Lord
think
in
I'm talking
Guardians
about?
of the Galaxy.
I thought
Logan
Rachel
is
Nichols
how
Bilson? You
we
was.
think I'm
meet
talking
Kirk.
about Bilson?
No, I thought
Ra-
Rachel Nichols was from the OC.
Rachel Nichols was in Alias. That's why she ended up in that. But I don't know. She's been in a ton of shit. She was the slutty babysitter in the Amityville Horror remake.
No, yeah, okay.
All right,
Oh,
anyway. What
what
do you
else
give
do we
it?
got?
What do you give it? A two?
No, I give it a 3.
Okay.
It's like
Oh,
our baby girl. We have 3, 4, and a 5 here.
Uh-huh.
hell yeah.
MVP, Alfred Woodard, LVP. I don't know. Who's your LVP?
Mine,
Hmm.
Yeah, both of you.
Data.
Again?
What?
Come on, Data's
You
good in
fucking
this one.
asshole.
I don't know why I thought she was in the OC, but she was in P2, which is a great horror movie.
Yes.
If you've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
seen P2, guys, check that out.
That's a
I
good
don't know why
film.
I thought she maybe was in the OC. Anyway, who's your
Who's a
LVP,
good?
Tim?
I'm trying to figure out who's a good LVP. Um, but you did make me think of other characters. You mentioned Lieutenant Hawk, and
That
there's like
McDonough?
episodes of Star Trek where they like focus on like the background characters. So Lieutenant Hawk is one of these background characters who like, hey, we're not the main cast, but we're checking out. There's also the guy who like introduces himself to Lieutenant or Zephyr Cochran, and he's all like super embarrassing. His name's Barclay, and he's like a major like, oh, this guy sucks, but he's trying his best type of character. I would go with, I don't know, like the old fashioned bartender, I guess, is annoying. Um, I like this movie, so I don't know
Nikki the
LVPs.
Nose.
Yeah, that's a bad one too. Like maybe the holodeck film noir people, but I still kind of like all that stuff. So
Of course you did. You gave it a five.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Hard to pick.
MVP Adam Scott, right?
Loved Adam Scott in this. I That was honestly like the peak of my excitement. I like when Adam
How did I
Scott
miss
showed
him?
up,
Then
I
I gotta go
lost
back.
my mind. I rewound just to like make sure. Is that fucking Adam Scott?
Sure enough, it was.
Yeah.
Did you miss Whoopi in this one? Because
What?
technically she's there. She just isn't like in the story.
That's interesting. I don't know. Was she there? Was she in the movie?
Well, I mean, she lives on the ship, so she must have been there, and we have
Yeah,
to
that
assume
always
she
bothered
survived.
me about Next Generation. Like there'd be characters. I guess Battlestar did this too. There are characters like you wouldn't see for like a season and a half, but they've been there the whole time.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're just not important to the current story, so
All right.
we have to assume Whoopi did not get assimilated.
I have to
Yeah.
go to work. I'm going to tell you what we're covering next week on the show. Do we have any listener stuff?
We might have if I remembered to ask for
Great.
it.
Okay. Now next week on the show, it's just two more Next Generation movies. Then you're in the clear, Logan.
Whew.
Star Trek Insurrection, which is
Cool.
directed by Frakes again, and then Star Trek Nemesis, which is directed by Stuart Baird and features a very young Tom Hardy.
Get
Um,
ready for Nemesis.
Was Frakes a good director? Do we know?
I think
Nothing really stood out in this.
I think these movies look good. I think he's
Yeah.
probably a good TV director who's
Hmm.
maybe a little out of his element in a big budget
In one
movie.
of them, they were adding like some post effect, like shake on the camera that I really hated. I don't know, like one of the crashes or something.
I,
It was
I
awful.
I will say that I think Insurrection is a fine movie, but like does feel like the most like a TV episode.
I'm
And
excited for
then
that.
Nemesis is good.
Okay.
It's good. I've heard that one's bad.
I
Well, it's
like
an even, so
Nemesis.
it's got to be good, right? It's number
I
10.
guess so, yeah. All right.
We're still going with that, by the way. 7 was bad, 8 was good. That's amazing. They were right.
Guys, we'll be back next week for more Star Trek. What are we doing the rest of the week, Logan? Can you inform
Angel.
me just as much as them? When is that?
What is what? I didn't hear what you said.
When are we doing Angel?
Thursday, right? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Or we can do it Friday because we moved the Friday thing to Monday. 1990 and Survivor. That'll be on both on Monday.
Yeah, can we do that?
So you want to do or Angel Friday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we,
Yeah.
did we end the episode?
And then
Or
no, we're saying telling the
we're
listeners
still going. Yeah,
patreon.com
that
slash the franchise. And what's the ones on Monday?
Monday we're doing the next 3 episodes of Survivor, which are episodes 5, 6, and 7, season 42, and then we'll 1990 Oscars. We'll give out what we think should have won.
Right. Yeah.
Deep dive.
All right. Sweet. All right. That's what's coming up here. Tim, it's been
Thank you,
great having
Tim.
you on the show.
Been
I'm
fending
sure
off strangers in his car like freaking leaf blowers. It's crazy. Shout
Yeah,
out to you.
I got leaf blowed.
you got some
Yeah,
loser thing to end the episode with.
yeah. Number one, go take a number two.